for persons with disabilities.
Everyone is looking for a deal. Everyone is looking to save. With this in mind, Hallway Marketing has teamed up with Deals Crazy TV to bring to Bahamians unparalleled products and unbelievable savings. Yes, it's Deals Crazy TV, where we take the hassle out of shopping for you.
Here is what people are saying. Take a look.
Person like me, I love deals, so wherever there's the best deal, you know, we all need to save a little bit here and there.
Good package, get everything in one package deal, one place. Come on, man, check it out.
I mean, if it helps to bring products into the hands of the Bahamian people at a quick lower price, maybe even catch a good special, why not, you know?
Everybody will know where the good deals are. You know, so-called recession now. In a recession, you just need a good price and a good deal.
Stimulate the small businesses in the Bahamas and allow the public to find and search out for a good deal.
Them having to go on a search for themselves. We bring the search to them.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, officials from the Freeport Container Port's headquarters in Hong Kong on Grand Bahama launching an investigation into employees' concerns. Also, Grand Bahama Power Company promises relief amid ongoing power outages. And police are investigating a suicide attempt by a 45-year-old man on Grand Bahama. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, our ZNS News team has learned that officials from the Freeport Container Port have arrived on the island to investigate serious allegations. Employees of the Freeport Container Port have raised concerns about financial misconduct and nepotism involving senior executives, sending a detailed letter to stakeholders, management, and government officials. The investigation team includes an international auditor and compliance officers, and sources indicate that additional officials from Hong Kong are expected next week to further examine the company's practices. The letter alleges a range of issues, including the hiring of an engineer without the necessary work permits, violation of company policy related to executive travel and accommodation expenses, nepotism involving excessive salaries and benefits for an executive's daughter, inflated rental rates, and misuse of company resources for personal home improvements. Now, late last month, Minister of Immigration Alfred Sayers confirmed that an investigation is underway. Howard Thompson, Director of Labor, stated that while no breaches of Bahamian labor laws have been confirmed, any evidence of violations will be thoroughly investigated. This is a story we will continue to follow. Well, another day and more power outages yesterday as frustrations mount among residents over persistent power issues with seemingly no end in sight. Cleopatra Murphy caught up with a few of them who weighed in on the ongoing problem.
Please try to get it together. It's bad and it's been happening too long.
Frustrated and fed up, residents have had enough and are demanding better service from the Grand Bahama Power Company after a streak of outages continued Thursday, leaving thousands to endure sweltering heat during the day and plunge into darkness at night. Ryan Bowe says for the past few months it has been occurring far too often.
It's uncomfortable for my kids, you know, because it's hot. This is just around the time and it's extremely hot, so it's very uncomfortable for them. Certain time the power turned off, you don't expect it. We didn't get to cook yet, or, you know.
B. Azan Johnson lost power for 2.5 hours Thursday night, and the outages have cost him numerous appliances. He questions how the power company will perform with upcoming developments.
Carnival, in the east, we have the shipyard that's coming up, and there are one or two others that's being built. It's being totaled at $6 billion worth of investments. When these items comes on, these are large-scale projects, including homes. What's going to happen is the problem is going to be greater. What we're seeing now is technically a lack of planning.
Frustrated, Earl Gadet says the outages are unacceptable, and he questions if the company is being properly ran.
The inconvenience of having to go home at night. I wanted to watch the football last night. I can watch no football. I ain't that much of a football fan, but I'm just saying, you know, let me determine what I want to do with my consumption, not the power company cutting me off at night.
Not only is it an inconvenience, but another resident says with the power off throughout the day, it costs her tips and is hurting businesses.
I worked out to sea, and yesterday it was horrible. The power keep going in and out, and it was horrible yesterday. It was bad. The business lost a lot yesterday because of the power outage. It was terrible yesterday. Like, it was bad. And my boss lost a lot yesterday.
Having lost a dryer and 2 air conditioning units, Max Quant believes changes must be made at the power company and concessions possibly given to customers.
Whatever the problems are that they're having, maybe somebody needs to get involved, like some portions of the government, and see whether or not they could bring a successful conclusion to the problem.
As for the proposed rate increase due to the frequent outages, residents are adamant that under no circumstances should it be approved. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thanks, Cleo. Well, Grand Bahama Power Company officials say they have heard the cries of the residents on Grand Bahama, and they continue to work to resolve issues with its generation shortfall at the main plant. Tonight, our Shalia Roll comes live from the Grand Bahama Power Company's Peel Street generation plant with the latest. Shalia.
Well, Romiko, this is a question that has been on everyone's mind. Could an end be in sight for the relentless power outages that residents have endured since June? Well, Grand Bahama Power Company officials says that an end may be on the horizon.
Like the Grand Bahama Power Company understands the significant impact the recent power disruptions have had on our customers, both commercial and residential. We deeply regret this inconvenience.
Earlier this year, the Grand Bahama Power Company announced that it is experiencing problems with the largest generator at the Peel Street plant, leading to a generation shortfall and necessitating emergency load shedding. The company has stated that it is working diligently to resolve these issues. In the meantime, Arlie Thompson, Asset Integrity Director at the Grand Bahama Power Company, has revealed that the temporary generators are being installed to help alleviate the strain on the system.
GBPC has secured rental generators to bolster power generation capacity while the repairs are currently underway. We expect these repairs to be in effect swiftly as our teams are working around the clock to ensure that we come to an immediate resolution.
Power company officials recommend that if there are any damages to appliances during these frequent power outages, to file a damage claim on the company's website.
As it relates to the public's concerns as it relates to damage claims, we invite you to visit our website and fill out the damage claim application. Our teams are working diligently to review and assess and will be in contact with you.
Now, residents have been asking for a schedule for when the power is expected to be disrupted, but Grand Bahama Power Company officials say that this should not be an issue much longer. Coming to you live from the generation plant, I'm Shalia Roll. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Shalia. Well, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, once again reiterating her stance on the frequent power outages that continue to affect Grand Bahama Island through a press statement. The press statement reads, the ongoing and frequent power outages affecting Grand Bahama have reached an unacceptable level and require immediate action. Our residents are justifiably frustrated as the current service continues to fall short of basic expectations. The minister says that the Grand Bahama Power Company has a responsibility to provide reliable and consistent power to the island. The statement adds that the minister has communicated these concerns to GBPC, and while she appreciates their efforts to address the situation, she will continue to advocate on behalf of Grand Bahamians to ensure they fulfill their commitment to delivering the service our island deserves. The minister concludes that it is vital that our power supply keeps pace with the needs of our growing island. Meantime, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama, Kingsley Smith, also weighing in on the frequent power issues. In a press release, he says for quite some time now, but more notably in the recent days, Residents of Grand Bahama have been plagued with inconsistent power outages for hours at a time by the sole energy provider on the island, Grand Bahama Power Company. The MP for West Grand Bahama and Bimini says what he also finds disturbing or insulting to the intelligence of Grand Bahamians is the repetitive elementary generic jargon used by the Grand Bahama Power Company, which is they are currently experiencing a generation shortfall. The statement concludes, we deserve better. In fact, we demand better. For more on both statements, please visit our social media pages. Meanwhile, the Small Business Development Center hosting a Get to Know Your SBDC Town Hall meeting for West Grand Bahama at the 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium. While the focus was to inform and engage residents on how the SBDC works, there was some proof in the pudding that the SBDC is willing and ready to help small and medium-sized business owners in the West get started. Shane Stubbs was there and filed this report.
The data shows that Grand Bahama is certainly a hub for intricate business ideas, and the SBDC has been at the forefront of pushing entrepreneurs forward. At their recent town hall meeting here in West Grand Bahama, there certainly was an expression of their ambition to increase that, while also empowering West Grand Bahamians.
I think for some of you, you're going to be extremely excited about it.
The Get to Know Your SBDC town hall meeting piqued the interest of a number of West Grand Bahamians. Executive Director Samantha Rule says across the archipelago, the loan and grant entity has approved over $89 million over 44 industries.
Approximately 62% of that is debt funding, and then the larger portion, the second largest portion, would be the grant funding.
However, for Grand Bahama, 486 clients have been funded, leading to a robust $13.7 million pumped into the island's small and medium businesses. While funding spreads fairly evenly across the 5 constituencies, Rule believes the numbers and potential of West Grand Bahama suggest there's a lot more room for investment.
Approximately $1.3 million of that has been invested in West Grand Bahama. Some of our top industries in West Grand Bahama is construction, is fisheries, it's professional services. We want to make sure that for West Grand Bahama in particular, how do we now support more businesses?
Against this backdrop, however, Rule says they have gone the extra step, establishing business hours at the Obadiah H. Wilshcombe complex on Tuesdays and Thursdays over the next several months, cementing their commitment to informing licensees on how they can be approved and the process behind applying.
It means that we are vested.
With huge plans on the horizon, Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini Kingsley Smith urging his constituents to take the investment the SBDC is making seriously to put themselves in prime position to be a part of what's to come.
It is important for Bahamian entrepreneurs to be in a position to maximize any and all benefits that might come about.
Both Rule and Smith cautioned that there is a process, but the SBDC is committed in working hand in hand with business owners. Now, for more information on how you can apply for their loans and grants, you can log on to sbdcbahamas.com. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Switching gears now, police on Grand Bahama has issued a missing persons bulletin for 49-year-old Elkino Miller of number 3 Gold Coin Lane, Freeport. Miller stands 6 feet tall, weighs 230 pounds, dark brown complexion, dark brown eyes, medium build, and black low haircut. The Grand Bahama resident was last seen on September 3rd, 2024. Anyone spotting him, contact Police Emergency at 911, the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, Crime Stoppers at 352-1919, Police Control Room at 350-3014-6, Marsh Harbor Police Station at 367-2560, Family Island at 242-300-8476. Also, police on Grand Bahama are investigating an attempted suicide involving a 45-year-old.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with VTC, wherever your journey takes you.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meals with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal, at the check-in counter, at security checkpoints, or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Your number 1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. In the final episode of our Remembering Hurricane Dorian series, Philip Roll, a survivor and hero, shares his traumatic experience on the passing of Hurricane Dorian after rescuing many residents in the Hudson Estates community. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
As Hurricane Dorian unleashed its fury on the Bahamas, Philip Roll of 21 Cornwallis was bracing the storm with his family, desperately holding on to hope. But then a phone call shattered the fragile calm. A loved one was trapped in grave danger. With no time to hesitate, Philip's heart of gold pushed him into action. He raced through the storm's violent grip, but little did he know that one act would lead to the rescue of an entire community.
We had to tie a boat onto my truck to get it afloat so that we can get through the neighborhood. And once we got through the neighborhood, we started to rescue the people from her house. And going further, you passing neighbors and everyone asking for help. And so that's how we got our help mission going. Ingesting all of that brown water. And I mean, it was such a scary situation. And I, in my mind, just praying to the Lord, just Heavenly Father, get me out of this one. After the storm and you just walking back through the neighborhood, and everybody, everybody just welcoming you, and they just holding you, and they just saying thank you, and all of the embrace. And then you look around and you see everybody furniture's outside, their fridge, their stove, and some of these people work hard for everything. I always wonder what goes through the mind of people when I see them on the street. And, they have these mental issues. And I was like, Lord, please don't let me slip into that. And I don't know that I'm now suffering from a mental condition, because I used to find myself crying a lot. I used to find myself on the beach a lot, just sitting down, just looking at the waves. I was so distorted in the mind.
After hearing Philip Roll's harrowing, heartfelt stories of courage and survival, one final question lingered on my mind.
If you had the opportunity to go out there and save lives again, would you do it?
Not only would I do it again, but I'll do it again and again. And I only wish we could go back to that time where we were our brother's keeper.
Great report, Yolanda. Well, 5 years after Hurricane Dorian ravaged Abaco, the scars of its devastation are still deeply felt by many, including Lance Pinder, part owner and operations manager of Abaco Farms. Tonight, Pinder is recounting his experience of the storm that changed the course of their lives.
We knew it was going to be probably worse than we'd ever had before, but I think it was worse than anyone even could imagine.
Hurricane Dorian left an indelible mark on Abaco, and for Lance Pinder, the memories of the fateful time are still vivid. As the storm bore down, Abaco Farms had 70,000 birds sheltered in its shed, but when the storm passed, all the birds were dead, a devastating loss for the farm.
Like, soon as the sun came up, like 7 o'clock, we came out and we could see all the chicken barns were completely flat. But why? Almost all of them were dead. There was like 1 or 2 that was alive. Really, I can't explain it, which was strange that they all perished during the storm.
The storm not only claimed the lives of livestock, but also isolated the Pinder family, with roads to the north and south of the farm flooded. They were stranded until the waters receded. With no means of communication, Pinder says he was stunned by the scale of the destruction once he was finally able to move around.
About 2 months, 2 or 3 months, it was like living in the series of The Walking Dead.
Despite the widespread devastation, there was a small glimmer of hope. The farm's freezers were still operational. As Abaco faced a critical food shortage, Abaco Farms became a supplier, playing a crucial role in the community's survival.
So we were giving away ice, giving away water, giving away chicken to people for about a month. We were sort of the grocery store on the island. We'd have a line out the road all the way down the road, and we were only able to do it like 2 hours a day between like 4 and 6, because the rest of the day we were around working, trying to patch things together.
Living amidst the ruins, Pinder and his family never considered leaving Abaco. 5 years on, the memories of Dorian's destruction remains etched in their minds, but so does their resilience and commitment to their home.
Like, I have 2 girls that are 5. They'll never know the town that I knew because it's gone. Abaco is a completely different place. It's come back, but it's different. It's just different.
Shane, what's the latest in Friday sports?
Well, Ramiko, coming up in sports, high school sports is approaching. The GBSSAA held their annual general meeting recently, and they are ready to get the ball rolling. We've got the details on that plus more, so stick around. Sports is next after this break.
Bahamas, Wednesday, September 25th, we're remembering Obe with a One Love Gospel concert featuring Bishop Denzel Rowe, The Cooling Water, Oslin Chartes, Bishop Simeon Alton,
I'm pressing on.
West End Primary, Holmes's Rock Primary, Martintown Primary, and 8 Mile Rock High School. There'll also be special tribute. It's a One Love Gospel concert remembering Obe, September 25th at the 8 Mile Rock High School gym at 6:30 p.m. Be there.
Have you been waiting for windows? Then wait no more. Cornet Bahamas have in stock now PVC sliding windows, casement windows, and impact sliding windows with mirror tinted glass, all in different sizes and styles. Call us at 352-1301 or visit any of our 4 locations in Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera for the great products and great prices. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Cornet Bahamas, dream, design, deliver.
JS Event, JMC TCI, and Sunset Village Fish Fry present I'm a Boatman, featuring Katie and Fred. D-Mac, Gino D, Nishi Ellen, Sweet Emily, Wilfred Solomon, Funky T, Stevie S, Veronica Bishop, Papa Smurf, Sherrod Taylor, Lil Joe Cartwright, Mama D, Colin McDonough, Chad Cully, and the VIP. And from Turks Island, the Proficient Band, and host Super P. There'll also be performances by The Swinger and the Platinum Nights Jokino Group. Sunday, October 13th at Sunset Village Fish Fry, 8 Mile Rock. Sponsored by the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Tourism.
What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to your Northern Edition Sports Update. We've got some fast and furious sports update for you this evening, so let's get right to it. School is in, which means the GBSSAA is gearing up for their 2024-25 athletic year. The board and coaches discussed a number of topics during their general meeting recently, and President Derek Wells says there's a lot of excitement in the air.
My expectations are high. We're coming into a new year, the 24-25 year. All the schools seems to be ready. Everyone seems to be very excited and hardworking and just getting ready to get things rolling. So I expect good things from all the schools here in Grand Bahama.
High school volleyball will kick things off, and Secretary General Charlene Hamilton says the multiple this upcoming season is beating rapidly.
We are looking forward to start our volleyball tip-off classic on the 23rd for senior students, and then move right into the regular season, which will begin on the 30th of September. Our juniors and seniors, they have been working effortlessly all summer, getting prepared for this competition.
Next in sports, the West Grand Bahama Sporting Association is close to officially launching. Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini Kingsley Smith on why the association was formed.
That initiative alone is to ensure that we develop our kids starting from age 4 to 5 up to age 18. Once we can develop and pull those skills, those talent that these kids have, we could get them off seen by foreign scouts. Directors of each sporting discipline has also been named. The key is, how are we able to get our kids off to college without the financial burden of the parents? All right, so one of the ways is through sports.
And lastly in sports, Jonquil Jones and the New York Liberty continue to roll toward the playoffs. They quieted the Seattle Storm 77-70. It was a pretty balanced winning effort. JJ, however, finished with 15 points while shooting 5 or 8 from the field and 3 for 5 from three-point range. She also grabbed 8 rebounds and denied shot after shot, racking up 5 blocks. They'll take on the Las Vegas Aces this coming Sunday. And that'll do it for your sports update, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs. As always, be safe, be great, and make it a great weekend.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
What is you doing on this tablet? It ain't upside down again. Y'all know. Y'all think I don't know how to use a tablet, eh? Well, you're ashamed. Y'all, I've been down to the Sir Charles Haywood Library today. And guess
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the domestic economy continues to expand, though at a more tempered pace. Find out why the central bank governor isn't overly concerned about headwinds. The Royal Bahamas Police Force makes history as it plays host to the 26th Interpol Americas Regional Conference, a commitment to strengthening regional security and cooperation. Plus, bridging the Caribbean and Africa through art. Hear how two artists plan to accomplish just that. And in sports, John Quell unveils new Bahamian sneaker brand. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
I'm Akush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Diminishing headways leading to a favorable economic environment for the Bahamas as laid bare in the central bank's latest monthly. We hear more in this report. Healthy being one of them. And the central bank latest monthly report leans on the data. The demand for key source markets persisted. The average consumer price inflation decreased and external reserves grew by $71.4 million. But the economy's upbeat performance really shouldn't be taken in isolation. Central Bank Governor John Roll holds firm that there are risks.
One of the recurring risks for the Bahamas is the kind of setback to the experience if we get a very devastating hurricane. So we're always mindful of that risk. For the Bahamas, the fact that we're able to use reinsurance products means that whenever we suffer setback from hurricanes, the private sector typically gets, some support from the reinsurance proceeds. But the greater financial hardship typically shows up in terms of the government finances, because the disruption is typically such that the government sees a slowdown in its revenue collections. At the same time, it has to maintain its expenses, and often it has to provide assistance to some parts of the population that may have been harmed. So to the extent that those are a recurring risk that we deal with, that is always a downside insofar as the economy is concerned.
2019's Hurricane Dorian, a classic case with punishing winds of up to 185 miles per hour and 25 feet storm surges. The supercharged storm left behind a staggering $3.4 billion bill for the Bahamas, decimating some 27% of the country's GDP. 5 years later, Grand Bahama and Abaco are still rebuilding. Mother Nature certainly not the only headwind the country faces. Inflation, another serious concern that fortunately has lessened, reducing the pressure on activity.
To the extent that the inflation pressures are abating, it's good. It is also good because it gives international central banks the leeway to begin to reduce interest rates. And that is positive to the extent that the Bahamas has external debt, foreign currency debt. As interest rates come down, the cost of servicing the debt also diminishes. And so that's an example where bringing inflation more under control helps by way of lower interest rates and lower costs that pass through in terms of maintaining public debt.
And while tourism continues to hold its own, the tourism minister himself forecast another record-breaking year. The central bank's July report spoke to risk to that top sector as well, mainly associated with outside factors. Again, those too have diminished, at least as the governor puts it, from the external side.
Other risk that we always worry about is how the conflicts, such as the war in the Middle East and Ukraine, they also influence, the travel environment and perceptions about safety of travel as well as costs. Those are risks that we have to always be mindful of. Now, where the Bahamas faces some internal constraints to tourism, which I would not classify necessarily as risk, but just the fact that we have some constraints internally, is the capacity to accommodate more inflows of stopover visitors in the very short term.
That said, Roll predicts some of the potential gains the Bahamas can expect in the near term will be limited, and this due to the need for more capacity in the hotel sector to absorb the growing number of tourists. On the flip side, though, the vacation rental sector has helped, a testament to the volume of stopover visitors to the Bahamas. Well, a major food store chain wrestling a serious problem. According to Deborah Simonet, SuperValue's president, the company has to constantly contend with shoplifters.
Shoplifting has always been a concern and continues to be something that we monitor and attempt to control to keep it at a level that won't put us out of business. We find that the worse the economy is, the worse the theft gets. People get desperate and do things out of desperation, and then some people just feel that they can get away with it.
In other news this evening, several deteriorating government rental units set for major upgrades. The Windsor Lane housing project among the communities to benefit from the $3 million undertaking, with work set to begin within weeks. Desmond Saunders has the story.
A 30-year abandoned and decaying government rental facility on Windsor Lane getting a major facelift for old-age pensioner Carolyn Lopez, a resident for over 50 years. The renovation set to begin in a matter of weeks is most needed.
The damages is like all the sockets in the front room. At least you see how they are located. Some parts don't have no sockets to push nothing in. We have to take one set of draw cord to push in one and take another draw cord to push in one in order to get current.
The planned redevelopment welcomed relief for resident Chantal Thurston, who's happy for the upgrades.
Well, not only me, the whole big yard is really excited because it's been a while since we really had a facelift around here. And we have a lot of problems with these apartments. And most of these apartments, people are doing salary deduction. So, yeah, we're really excited because we haven't had nothing done to these in a while.
Minister of Housing and Urban Renewal, the Honorable Keith Bell, says extensive work being carried out on these 30 units will be completed in phases with minimal disruptions. Broken tiles and windows, chipped flooring, busted pipes, and damaged ceilings being replaced with modern fixtures and amenities.
But the idea is for us to ensure that once we renovate, we put in place proper CCTV. We ensure that we put in place proper security. There's proper lighting. There's a proper perimeter wall where persons from the outside cannot come in and continue to vandalize the buildings or be a threat to the residents, especially the single mothers and these children that are here. That we're going to renovate the vacant units first and be able to move one of the tenants out of that into the vacant unit and then renovate the unit where they're in and continue that until we get the whole building renovated. So we're not going to displace nobody.
Part of the project's aim is to assist residents achieve home ownership. Windsor Lane, one out of many government rental units up for repairs. Government set to renovate housing units within the Sutton Street and Coconut Grove communities. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Well, a 45-year-old man's attempt to end his life thwarted. Grand Bahama police say they were alerted to the incident just before 10 Thursday morning when officers arrived at the victim's Bass Lane home. They met him with self-inflicted injuries to his wrist and a severed left little finger. Investigations have so far revealed that the man ingested over-the-counter pills and used a sharp instrument to inflict his injuries. He was taken to hospital for medical attention and evaluation. The matter is under active investigation. Well, law enforcement leaders, representatives, and delegates from 36 countries to meet here at the Capitol next week as part of Interpol's 26th America's Regional Conference, a huge first for the Bahamas playing host.
The conference will focus on enhancing regional cooperation, developing innovative strategies to combat transnational crime, and strengthening our collective response to emerging security challenges. It allows representatives to collaborate, share knowledge, and discuss critical issues relating to law enforcement and security. The Bahamas is proud to host this esteemed gathering, which underscores our country's commitment to playing a vital role in the global fight against crime.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse, the people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with BTC, wherever your journey takes you.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meals with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers in peace. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
Make this year your best year yet. Education is the key to success, and the University of the West Indies Global Campus Bahamas is your partner in success. Take a course that increases your value in a matter of weeks, or get that degree you've been dreaming of with convenient online learning. Visit us at global.uwi.edu/Bahamas, call 323-6593, or WhatsApp 456-6687 today.
Blessings gonna find me.
Marco's, the pizza that's perfect for every party, every moment, and every occasion.
Have you been waiting for windows? Then wait no more. Climates Bahamas have in stock now PVC sliding windows, casement windows, and impact sliding windows with mirror tinted glass, all in different sizes and styles. Call us at 352-1301 or visit any of our 4 locations in Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera for the great products and great prices. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Climates Bahamas, dream, design, deliver.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
Big-name vendors like BTC, BAF Financial, and Sand Dollar meeting under pitch tents today to help promote a healthier Bahamas. Danielle Dean has the story.
We're on the grounds at Lyndon Pindling International Airport, where the annual Health and Safety Expo, open to the public for the first time this year, is being hosted.
We want our Bahamian public to start eating organic and backyard fruits and vegetables.
We did just that over at Doctors Hospital's makeshift kitchen, where we chefed up curried chickpea and blended up a nutritious treat that perfectly countered the outdoor heat. Helping to serve them, Jonathan Hanna, Vice President of Operations at Nassau Airport Development Company. Asked why the event stores have only now been open to the general public, Here's what Hannah said.
So the airport employs more than 3,500 employees, and we all play different roles in ensuring the safety of the traveling public. And so we wanted the community to see that not only do we have responsibility to our employees, but we also have responsibility to the community.
Just a few feet away were representatives of the airport fire department. Tito Roll, inspector and trained paramedic, introduced us to a pair of his not-so-responsive friends, who the department has humorously named.
This is Randy Dane Ferguson, and the next one in the bunker gear over there is Andy Dane Ferguson.
He said, these dummies play a vital role in helping workers at the department prepare for emergencies at the airport. As for the Expo's future, VP Hannah said he hopes to introduce the equivalent of what he describes as TED Talks on mental health. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Zine.
The local homeschool population growing as scores of parents take on the task of teaching their children the core subjects within the comfort of their own. President of the Bahamas Homeschool Association and mother of two, Nadia Wong, who took the leap during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, says with help from the Ministry of Education's homeschool unit, she was able to select a curriculum to boost her children's academic abilities.
In the class system, everyone basically gets at the same level, whether you learn it quickly or whether you learn it slowly. All the children are together. But in this type of environment, for instance, if I see Nia, my daughter, if she needs more help with mathematics, we can concentrate on that more, as opposed to, just spending so much time on mathematics when she's already caught a concept. And, if I see my son is already ahead with the science, I know that, okay, he's gotten it. We can just, move on.
Started as far back as 2009, the association has about 50 families registered. Wong stresses that when students sit national examinations, they complete a simple online registration.
Once you register, the parent would get a homeschool practitioner certificate. The child gets an official identification, which you would take to testing and evaluation. And then you can register your child to sit the GLATs, sit the BJCs, sit the BGCSEs. So for those homeschool families, if you want your child to take the national examinations, it's imperative, it's mandatory that the child be registered with the homeschool unit of the Ministry of Education.
Expanding diplomatic relations with Africa in areas like tourism, finance, and education, a big plus for the Bahamas. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, will tell you it helps strengthen economic activity here at home. The minister's comments come a day ahead of African CARICOM Day.
Bahamian artist Alexis Buchanan and Ghanaian muralist Ransford Amos are bridging both countries to create a groundbreaking mural celebrating their rich cultural history.
Africa has given birth to so many cultures and so many cultural practices around the world. So, as you would see in this mural project, from my portion, you will see elements of nature, as that's simply a part of who I am.
The mural will feature vibrant colors and symbols. The artists coming together via conference call to plan out the larger-than-life creation.
This will be my first time meeting an international artist like Alexis and Quemadas. For I'm going to meet all of. I've been talking to each other on phone, but I haven't met before, so it's a great opportunity for me to meet them for the first time.
According to Angelique McKay, Queen Mother of Asafa Jariba of Pokesu and the Ahanta people of Western Ghana, the collaboration is part of a larger cultural exchange program called the Voyage to Ghana Pilgrimage to Ahanta project, aimed at promoting the arts and fostering connections between students and artists across the globe.
This mural project came about as a result of the Voyage to Ghana Pilgrimage to Ahanta project, where we partner with the University of the Bahamas and in Ahanta, where we have student exchanges. In the first instance, the first cohort that we went on this pilgrimage were faculty from the University of the Bahamas, along with other Bahamians that went to Ahanta. And this trip, students from the University of the Bahamas are going along on this trip.
Next month, a group of students, along with Alexis, will travel to Ghana to complete the mural and are being awaited on by organizers on the ground, according to Stephen Arthur, local government personnel.
Artists and students from the Bahamas, joining artists and students in Ghana, to work on this painting project, this mural project, which will speak volumes about our connections, about some of the words we talk about how we resisted slavery and how the oppressors, kept on fighting against us in the time of colonial days. So the
clock is ticking as both artists eagerly await to join their artistic forces with the hopes of strengthening ties.
At that moment, and with all these people around me, it will be a very nice feeling for me.
But I assure you, this wouldn't be the last project we'll work on together.
The mural is expected to be a lasting symbol of the bond between the Bahamas and Ghana, inspiring future projects between the two. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Well, we do apologize. You just listened into a report on an exciting display of international collaboration between a Bahamian artist and a Ghanaian muralist. We now hear from the Minister of Foreign Affairs on the importance of expanding diplomatic relations with Africa.
The government has acquired, or is in the process of acquiring, the land that used to be the International Bazaar, is to have an Afro-Caribbean market. And this is going to be a marketplace which will be tourism-driven, but it will be a center for people to import stuff from Africa to Grand Bahama and be sold on to those who visit there. And I have no doubt Bahamians will take advantage of that. And that, I hope, comes within the next 18 months.
The Clifton Heritage National Park could be on a new path. The historical site now under a change in management with its future benefits being mapped out. We get more from Betty Thompson-Moss.
Nestled along western New Providence, the Clifton Heritage National Park offers numerous benefits and insights into diverse historical layers of the country, from indigenous Lucayan people to African slaves.
We have more than 40 employees. We have a landscape of more than 200 acres of property, and it is a site that is actually very attractive for guests as well as locals. And so my job is to stabilize the management until such time as the government decides to appoint a full-time managing director.
Its new acting managing director, Don Cornish, served in various capacities in the government, and now he has oversight for the national park.
One of the things that I've been doing is just trying to understand operations, having meetings with the various stakeholder groups on staff, especially to look at operations from the point of view of obligations that we may have to vendors as well as to staff and persons who are responsible for the park.
The Clifton Heritage Park promotes the preservation of Bahamian heritage. Its coastline also features coral reefs and is ideal for outdoor activities like hiking, the promotion of underwater sculpture, snorkeling, and marine life.
Clifton is one of our last remaining landscapes of real tangible cultural heritage. The antiquities that are here represent an era in our history that's quite important for us. Unfortunately, we look at it from the enslaved persons and what that meant for our ancestors. But it's more than that. It also speaks to who we are as a people and how we've evolved and what we preserve for our children.
With the unique bundle of potential available at the Clifton Heritage National Park, its future offerings will also be determined.
I'm actually preparing a comprehensive report which will share the insights that I've found and also recommendations on the way forward, what should be done in terms of all the details of operations and the way in which we really face the future.
As it stands, the park remains a crucial asset, preserving Bahamian culture while promoting educational and recreational opportunities for locals and visitors. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Betty Thompson-Moss.
Well, thanks, Betty. We still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in Sports for the Night, Bahamians taking the Big Apple by storm. Details ahead in sports.
If you see news in the making, call ZNS News at 502-3800 or email us at znsnews@gmail.com.
People are going crazy for Popeyes around the world. Some have camped out for hours just to try our delicious chicken. This guy stocked up on 300 crunchy, juicy chicken sandwiches, just in case. And these lovebirds celebrated their wedding with the Popeyes cake. For real. We get it, y'all chicken lovers. Because we're just as crazy to marinate our chicken for 12 hours and make every piece by hand. That crazy love, we love.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long, yet the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Get ready for the 20th Abaco Business Outlook, September 19th at the stunning Abaco Beach Resort for a full day of insightful discussions under the theme Future Abaco, Branding the National Identity, Planning for Success. Hear from our keynote speaker, the Honorable Clay Sweeting. Don't miss our interactive panels on infrastructure, hospitality management, and airlift development. Secure your spot today at tclevents.com or call us at 322-1000.
A long-standing employee of the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort passing the baton after more than 4 decades on the job. LaDawn Davis was among those at the special retirement luncheon and tells us the employee has left some pretty big shoes to fill.
Lead us to a place, oh my, guide us with your grace.
It's the lyrics from this melodious tune belted out by a friend that signals the end of one chapter and the beginning of another for now retiree of the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, Karen Cargill. Among family, friends, and colleagues at a retirement luncheon at Poseidon's on Friday, Karen said bon voyage while reminiscing on a job she's loved since 1977.
In 1998, when we opened the Royal, I was responsible for what we call a Bahamas familiarization, and I'll always remember that. I worked with Butch Kersner, and we invited 800 local persons from the community here to experience Atlantis, to enjoy the wonders of Atlantis, and actually to allow our team members to test and to learn and to be ready for when we opened for the international public. In my tenure in the industry, I was very, very happy to be a recipient of the CASIC Award. So I won that award in 2002 as Sales Manager of the Year. And I felt very, very accomplished because, you know, there are a lot of persons in the community who worked at other hotels who could have won that year, but it was me.
Her colleagues Ted Adderley and Karen Cruitt both traveled down memory lane and reflected on the good working relationship the two shared with the retiree who has been on the job for the past 47 years.
She has been such a wonderful ambassador, not only for the hotel, but for the destination. So we work together, not only in receiving clients, but in promoting the hotels.
The biggest impact is her attention to detail and the passion for the business, and she is so eloquent.
Karen's eldest sister, Marion, says the outpouring of love from her sister's colleagues at her farewell proves that her work did not go in vain and that all of her labor was appreciated.
Family is very important to Karen. And besides our family, Atlantis is a family, and sometimes they take over because she's here sometimes 12, 15 hours a day because she's having dinner. She's in the morning, sometimes 7, 8 o'clock, depending on what she has to do. And then afterwards, she's at dinner at night. And so that has been the role for the last 40-some years.
And now that she's retired from the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, Karen Cargill says she now has her eyes set on more traveling, spending time with her family and her grandchildren. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Well, one private school is diving into digitization. Queens College today partnered with Canoe for a cashless campus system where students can make all their purchases using the digital wallet. Reverend Henry Knowles, principal of Queens College, says it's more than just convenient.
We try to be cutting edge. We try to prepare our students for life beyond the campus. And today, everything is turning digital. You can't travel with cash anymore. Everyone is saying card and online. And so for us, this is one of those steps. So we feel that this is what we need as a nation to prepare our next generation for tomorrow. Well, parents love it because one time ago you had to give cash to your students in order to purchase their meals. Now, through the Canoe platform, parents can upload money on their students' accounts, and they're able to log in, see how things are going, if they're spending too much, what they're spending their money on, and it's a way of keeping them accountable.
A live demonstration gave staff and students a first-hand look at how the system works.
I feel like it's a great implement into QC, and it helps with parents when they may forget to give their student or their child money. They could just send the money to their Canoe card, and it helps them with a day-to-day basis in QC.
I find it really easy. It was easy to set up. I did it in under 5 minutes, and it's easy to use at the calf. It makes lines go way quicker. We just give it to the cashier, and she taps it, and that's all.
In honor of Nobel Peace Prize winner and poster child philanthropist, Albanian Indian nun Mother Teresa, the United Nations deemed September 5th International Day of Charity. Nonprofits like Hands for Hunger and the Bahamas Red Cross joined in the celebration.
So we have volunteers in the pantry that come through and help us, and so our truck will be on the road. We'll be serving people, so we'll make it a special day just by virtue of what we do. We have a major fundraising event coming up, Paradise Plates, and do new and innovative programming that can help us inch closer to our goals.
We want to be able to feed more people. We want to be able to clothe more people. We want to be able to provide sheltering for more folks if and when that need arises. Because if you look at the Red Cross now, as opposed to how it was, say, 50 years ago, we have made some significant strides since then. And so certainly over the next 50 years of our existence, we want to be able to move and show that we've made even more significant strides.
Still to come, our feature story of the night. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
Health is the greatest gift.
That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Ghana-Bahamas.
Fuel the difference. Ruby's Ultra Tech in your car. Fill up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Spend less and go far. Fuel up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby's Ultra Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel the difference with Ruby's Ultra Tech.
Back to school, back to football, and back to super value and quality supermarkets for great savings like Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs, 14.5 ounces, $1.69. Pickwell tomato paste, 6 ounces, $1.09. Western canola oil, 48 ounces, $4.99. Sweet Gala apples, 3 for $1. Beef short ribs, $2.59 per pound. Remember to save this September at super value and quality supermarkets.
In just a matter of days, the government will enter a $55 million loan agreement with the Saudi Fund for Development. That money to be used to expedite the required upgrades to the North Eleuthera International Airport in Lower Bogue. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, touting the agreement as vital to providing that particular gateway with the necessary facilities to establish its status as a world-class international airport and, by extension, improve the experiences of passengers traveling to and from the destination. The North Eleuthera Airport has been pegged as part of the government's Family Island Renaissance project. The agreement to be signed on Monday, September 9th. In addition, tourism and works officials also plan to launch expression of interest for the RFPs for terminals at North Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, and Mayaguana. The government's looking to transform, meantime, power generation in the Family Islands, and to do so, BPL's acquiring independent power producers. Energy and Transport Minister, the Honourable JoBeth Colby Davis, sees the partnerships as reducing the cost of producing electricity, a saving that will ultimately be passed down to its consumers.
Because the independent power producers will come with more efficient engines. So efficiency helps to keep the heat index of the engines down, which means the cost or the energy it takes for the engine to generate that power is lessened. And so that helps to keep costs down. So that's one of the reliabilities. What these independent power producers will also bring is solar panels. And so that helps to keep the cost down as well, because they'll be incorporating renewable energy, power generated from the sun, into how they produce that power to support BPL and the growth and the demand on the particular islands.
5 years after Hurricane Dorian's devastation, Abaco is showing remarkable resilience and economic growth, with South and Central Abaco MP John Pinder describing the island's recovery as a success story. And this despite facing significant setbacks along the way. Our ZNS News team visited the island to witness the progress firsthand. Here's Ramiko Knowles.
I remember they wiped us off the map, Ghana-Bahamas and Abaco, literally off the map, saying that we were gone. And then a lot of people telling us your miles will move because there ain't no coming back from that.
5 years ago, predictions about Abaco's recovery from Hurricane Dorian were grim, with some experts estimating it would take a decade for the island to rebuild. However, today, South and Central MP John Pinder says that the economy is booming.
Our construction economy is booming, but our tourism economy is booming, and that's the heart of our Abaco economy. Last year's numbers dictated that outside of cruise, our stopover visitors were number 2 in the country, and private aircraft number 2 in the country outside of Nassau. So it really showed that when we come together and we put our minds to it, we could really do great things. But we're still rebuilding.
How much would you say an estimate went into repair?
Millions and millions. I mean,
MP Pinder acknowledged that while significant progress has been made, Abaco's recovery could have been even further along if not for the numerous hurdles faced along the way.
And there was tremendous red tape, tremendous bureaucracy, and even stopping vessels and stopping planes from coming to give us goods and food, which was a pure survival. We needed food. We needed goods to start building. We needed tarps just to stay dry because it rained for some time after that. But that inspired me. That and going to the mainland where nothing was happening and it was a snail's pace for anything moving inspired me to put my foot in the door to be the Member of Parliament for Central South Abaco.
The island's residents endured tremendous losses, but in Hopetown stands a powerful symbol of resilience, a breadfruit tree that once towered 80 feet high, ripped from the earth by the storm's force. Today, its offspring serves as a beacon of hope for the people of Abaco, representing both the magnitude of their loss and the promise of a beautiful new beginning.
When you see the new one coming from the roots of the old, it shows the resiliency and shows that we're a phoenix and we rise from the ashes as long as we stand together.
Well, back to school excitement sweeping across the island of Exuma. And this excitement isn't just coming from students. Administrators are equally happy to be back on their campuses and are looking ahead to a productive year. At the island's 2 largest schools, Georgetown Primary Senior Mistress Rosemary Brown and Ellen Coakley Senior High Principal Philip Lockhart are eager to build off last year's successes.
We have lots of things planning ahead. We placed very high in the National Arts Festival, so we're expecting good things there. And just overall with the GLAT results and the different district speed competitions, yeah, we're going to do our part.
Our objective this year is mainly to focus on the instructional and reading programs. We have some improvements to make inside that area, and we are actually working hand in hand with some projects with BTVI to build the trades as well.
Students at the 2 schools were given back-to-school gifts today, as well as a pep talk from DPM and Exuma MP Chester Cooper and his wife, Cecilia. Well, Exuma getting ready for a one-day public speaking seminar at St. Andrew's Anglican Church on September 14th. Host Spence Phillison's offering 5 scholarships to students of Exuma's Ellen Coakley High.
I was painfully shy in school throughout. Primary school, high school at SAC, I was shy. And God blessed me with this gift to speak. My principal at the time, Mr. Vincent Ferguson, saw me years later. He said, my God, God is amazing. Look at Spence Finlayson. Didn't say anything in the classes, was a great athlete, performed on the field, but he never said anything. And now he's speaking around the world and teaching people how to speak. So it's God, and for students to get this experience early on, it's only going to help them further on in life.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Commissioner. Partly cloudy skies, temperature 86 degrees, the relative humidity 69%. We have easterly winds at 11 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,000 at 13.0 millibars. That's 29.91 inches. And your temperatures around the islands this evening: Marshall, Abaco at 86, 87, and Green Key, also Freeport, Ghana-Bahamas at 87 degrees, 86 in the Berry Islands. Alistown, Bimini 85, also Harbour Island reporting 85 degrees, 86 in Rock, Sandy Lutra, also Fresh Creek, Central Andros at 86. 86, we're picking up some 87s in Kemp Space, Andros, Black Point, Exuma, Artistan, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and also in Georgetown, Exuma. Taking you further south, we get some 88s in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay Maguana at 87 degrees, 88 in Acklands, Matchetown, Niagara, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 85 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by a live business where you're always protected from the worst storms. In the northwest and central islands tonight through Sunday, southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights are going to be at 2 to 4 feet. Now, your first high tide that will take place at 10:44 tonight, with a second high tide at 11:08 tomorrow morning for the southeast Bahamas through Sunday. Southeast winds 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet, and we will maintain that caution flag through Sunday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
She texts me back. She says she ready for some of that. I say, what you talking about? You know. She stopped the show. Well, let's go. I pick her up. We head down on a coast way down by
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, follow us at ZNS Digital on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us on our website at znsbahamas.com.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before things get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
From June 1st to November 30th, the ZNS Radio and Television Network is the #1 source in the Bahamas for hurricane information before, during, and after a storm. Now is the time to choose your radio and television hurricane season ad packages. Get extra special rates and run the ads only when you want them to run. Call the ZNS sales office today at 502-3800.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check on a Friday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Big night in New York City, part of the West Indian Heritage Evening at the Barclays Center. First thing starting off was Jonquel Jones releasing her new sneakers, and then she got to wear them on the court. Huge delegation on hand from the Bahamas, including our Amajal Knowles, who caught up with her after the game.
Well, Marcellus, the Barclays Center in Brooklyn was buzzing with activity on a Thursday night. It was the site of Bahamian basketball star Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty's second annual West Indian Night in-house. To support Jonquel would be the Minister of Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg, as well as Bahamas Consulate General for the North Leroy Major. For the game itself, Jonquel will post 15 points and 8 rebounds to help lead Liberty to the 77-70 win. We caught up with her post-game as she would talk about the team's performance as well as her new sneakers.
Yeah, it was a good game. You know, Seattle is one of those teams that's
a newer team in terms of some of the players that they have in, but they're also a really good team in terms of the talent that they have. So we understood that it was going to be a hard-fought game. It's one of those teams that you kind of use to gauge yourself against. And coming into the playoffs is one of those opportunities that we have to really look at ourselves and also get ready for the playoffs. Just super excited about it. You know, when Nike reached out to me about it, I was really excited to do it. And in the past, I've done PEs that they haven't come out for retail, but I've worn them on the court. And I've kind of like drawn on the Bahamian flag and brought the Bahamian colors in. But this time I wanted to do something a little bit different and you know, touch on some of the things that makes the Bahamas great. Turquoise waters, the coral reefs, you see that in the laces, the colorway of the shoe. But then I also wanted to have every Bahamian be able to look at the shoe and see their island, where they're from, and just understand that out there I'm representing the whole of the Bahamas.
We also caught up with Minister Boleg as well as Bahamas Consulate General for New York, Leroy Major, who spoke about supporting Jonquil.
Well, I definitely did enjoy the game, and I'm glad that the Liberties continue on their winning streak. Jonquil had a pretty good game with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and so, again, even though it's the West Indies night will encompass all the Caribbean, we're happy to know that once again we have a Bahamian who leads on this team and also who leads the Caribbean. So I'm just happy to be representing our country and showing Jonquil our support.
Yeah, well, I'm so pleased that the minister and members of the government of the Bahamas came to support the West Indian night and see one of our very own in the person of Jonquil Jones perform tonight. They absolutely floored the game, and she represented us extremely well. One of the things that she also did tonight was launch new footwear with Nike, which is a really big deal. As you can see, myself, the minister, we're all wearing a pair of those sneakers tonight, and we hope that the Bahamian people would participate in supporting her in this as well.
Now, we caught up with Jonquil and asked her a lot more, but you will hear more about that in a later sportscast. Signing out from the Big Apple, I'm Amajal Knowles, ZNS Total Sports.
Softball Association playoff action continuing last night. Chances Mighty Mitts in the green up against the blue-clad Renegades. This one got ugly early. Mighty Mitts came out focused on offense. They put up 13 runs top of the first inning, 6 more in the second as they cruised their way to a 19-0 win in 3 innings. This due to the mercy rule. Alcott Forbes, your winning pitcher over Jaheim Davis. Meanwhile, Norman Bastian was 2 for 3 with 5 RBIs today. Jarrell Bain was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. And Sherman Ferguson and Martin Burrows Jr. also had 2 RBIs apiece. Mitts will look to close out that series on Saturday night. World Masters bronze medalist and 400-meter gold medalist Tim Munnings honored by his fellow employees earlier this week for his accomplishments at the World Masters Track and Field Championships in Sweden. Munnings saying that having the opportunity to hear the national anthem played a major highlight in his career.
I won the gold medal as a relay team member, but we were upgraded to gold, so we never really heard the national anthem on the podium ourselves. So. Yeah, I felt a little emotional at that time, you know, even though it was a simple ceremony. It was very special. I knew that I was honored to be able to suit up again to represent the Bahamas after all these years. And so I take that responsibility very seriously, and I plan to do my best. Anytime I put on the uniform, it's gold or nothing, baby.
Government League basketball playoffs ready to continue this evening at the D.W. Davis Gym, 7:30. Bamboo Shack Patrollers, they'll take on the B-Dock Challengers. Patrollers lead that series 1-0. Feature game will be game 2 between the Real Deal Rangers and Nassau Flight Services Ballers. That comes away at 8:30. Rangers are also up 1-0 in that series. And that's it. Your check on sports for you here on this Friday. Of course, our Friday weather forecast is just ahead. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
It's time to grow your church. Time to extend your message to all the islands in the Bahamas, into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and to the world via the ZNS app and website. It's time to broadcast your church's services on ZNS TV. To help you with that, ZNS has some exciting new packages with very good prices. It's time to call 502-3813 for details.
We have more than anyone else. We are the most.
We are news leaders, and credibility is the order of the day.
Why don't you come to the most? Only the Sun can cover you better than our new digital product with exclusive stories and entertaining content.
We are the most. Community TV page and radio community announcements. The most viewers and listeners in the country.
We have the most years of Bahamian history recorded. There's no archive like ours.
I came back home to bring you even more news and local programming. We're simply the most, the new ZNS.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Vontae, and welcome back to another episode of The Drop.
2 minutes to airtime. I came back home to make sure you have the most in news and entertainment. We're simply the most.
And I came back home to make sure that you have the most in information, education, entertainment, and inspiration. We're simply the most. The new ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics beginning to quiet down a bit. We have this area of low pressure here in the northwest Gulf of Mexico. It only has a 0% chance of development, but it will continue to produce showers and thunderstorms near the coast of Texas and Louisiana. And then the second one there just to the east of the Carolinas, that too, we're giving it only a 0% chance of developing as they continue to move away towards the north and east. And then the Yucatan Peninsula. This is the area that we're keeping our eyes on as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico sometime on Sunday. We expect some development of this system, and it could become a tropical depression by the middle of this week. And closer to home, we had that feeder band from that low pressure off the Carolinas, and they're working their way towards the south and east across the Bahamas, so it will produce periods of cloud and possibly 1 or 2 passing showers as well. Our forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy, very warm with a couple of showers developing as those feeder band moves towards the south and east. Low temperature tonight, 81 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at a mixed bag of clouds and sunshine with a high temperature of 90 degrees and the extended weather forecast. Weather pretty nice through the weekend, but we'll get some more scattered showers on Monday and Tuesday in our forecast.
And to wrap up our back-to-school festivities, ZNS staffers took a trip down memory lane by representing their alma maters. Our Anika Bannister has the story.
The excitement was in full swing as ZNS staff members traded in their usual work attire for school uniforms at this year's back-to-school event. The fun-filled day was packed with engaging activities, including a thrilling scavenger hunt that had everyone on their toes racing to win exciting prizes.
Of course, it's ZNS back-to-school scavenger hunt, and this is our winner, Vontae Hannah from the News and Local Programming Department. And of course, this is from one of our sponsors, Sun Isles. Make sure you're always on time for your assignments. Congratulations, Vontae.
Adding to the excitement, staff enjoyed capturing memories at the popular 360 photo booth by Orbit 360 Bahamas, making it a picture-perfect celebration. We would like to thank Mr. Dorian Wallace and our sponsors, QVC Pharmacy and Sun Isles, for the prizes, and of course, 360 Orbit Bahamas for letting us experience their 360 photo booth. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Anika Bannister.
And before we leave, birthday greetings go out to Assistant Production Director Jeroen Saunders. I'm sure you had an amazing birthday. And that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's